Now, over 1,400 pupils in the Western Cape are yet to be placed in schools. They've already missed a month of learning. What's the plan for parents? And more importantly, what does the provincial government have to say about this? Well, senior reporter Aviwe Mtila is in Cape Town to get answers for us and joins us yet again. Now, Aviwe, we understand you're now joined by a parent who helps other parents in dealing with placement issues. Talk to us about this.
Apparently, it's a recurring issue in the Western Cape, as Linda Pito just told me now. One of the parents that are the Good Samaritans, in fact, part of the SGB at one of the local schools here, and goes out of his way in helping other parents. The number have since increased from early January when the schools reopened. We were told that learners that were in place at that time were around 576. Now, the number is at a staggering 1,400 plus. What are the issues? Let's find out with Linda Pito. Mdomkulu, thank you for joining us at eNCA.
Yes.
But maybe tell us just how bad is the learner placement? I mean, we're almost halfway through the first term already. How bad is the situation?
Yes, indeed. The situation in my area is not good. In terms of these 150 learners, they still does not have a space to learn. Last week, I spoke with Department of Education in the district in Case River, Mr. Wayne Abrahams. They promised us that we'll make sure that those learners can check this space to learn. But even today, no learner getting space. Yesterday, I called the office again. She says, "Nah, the situation is still tense, and abantwana bakafumana ukufunda even today. Particular grade we 8 is huge numbers. The learners doesn't have a space to learn. But even the office, they says, when I called one of the ladies, says no." Mr. Abrahams still in the meeting, will call me today, but even today no one called me again. And even last year, I still remember that abantwana baka grade 8, they're starting to learn June last year. Ever since was waiting January till June till eNCA is intervening and spoke with eNCA giving education till speed up the process. I think it's not the first time abantwana bangafumani indawo yofunda, particular a Cryfontaine. Every year is continue every year because they know it starts education in this province.
Okay, Mr. Pito just saying that even last year, in fact, there was a similar problem where learners only started learning in June, Mfundo. That is at the intervention of eNCA. We do understand my then colleague Monique Motlock covering that story that led to then the learners being placed at the various schools. What are the actual challenges? Kutheni kunzima ufaka abantwana ezikolweni? Kuthiwa yintoni xa uthetha no Department of Education? What's the actual challenge?
Number one, I don't know in terms of the DA government in this province. They're coming with a system that the people or the parents must be apply online. Maybe 3 schools. Even those parents, they apply online. That is getting the space for the school. And in number is scenario, Eblukombos and Wallasdene, sina 7 primary schools. 4 high schools. We can count how many graduate go grade 7 as is go grade 8 next year. It's a huge number. And you spoke Ivika Kool, including the Human Rights Commission, the Member of Parliament, Khalid Said, uti adngama kungenelele yena ukuthi no, in this country one of the priority kuba abantwana bababheke esikolweni in this country kulaba bavela baphakame khona xa ni approach media, ni approach human rights, ni approach parliament, so kulaba baphakame khona. Yes, indeed bayayazi every year ukuthi icrisis eCryfontaine abantwana baninzi. Previous years bebekade bekhala ngomhlaba, sibabonisa umhlaba bangafuna okanye abanyothe babe slow desk si approach as a government institution as dealing with human rights.
Okay, so it's the online system coupled with the infrastructure woes, apparently not enough schools for these learners. The gentleman is telling us here. Bathina bazali ngoku bathi bazakwenza njani? We're almost halfway through the first term. What are the parents saying and the learners? What's the situation looking like in your neighborhood?
Situation ngoku, I think we need to go to again approach the Human Rights Commission and again approach eNCA Parliament uComrade Khalid Sayed ukuthi no mabanganelele sibe a broader meeting ukuthi abantwana makhalwezise process uba bakwazi ungena esikolweni, because sibaleka lanto all the time ukuthi before government listen us must be do toy in everything, because many years besikwazi ukuthi makwenziwe toy kuvalwe zonke izikolo, kulapho government Western Cape led by EDA ukuthi mabakwazi umamela. But no, funa change system ngoku si approach human rights, si approach even parliament, yonke parliament amayinganelele kuhlalwe phansi kujongwe ukuthi thini if there is a problem political ekufuneka zisolve political mazisolve political, because abantwana kule country sifuna befundini particular kule Western Cape esihlala kuyo.
Okay, thank you very much, Mdomkolo. So basically saying, Mpundo, they're trying now a different approach from the previous toys that they would have, those previous protests where they'd shut down the schools around the Western Cape in order to get government to listen and actually place the unplaced learners. Now they're approaching the Human Rights Commission as well as parliamentarians just to get assistance in helping to place these learners. He's saying they're trying to avoid a situation like last year where they were only placed in June, Mpundo, even though they'd applied timelessly, such as the parent that we spoke to a bit earlier on, Vosumzi Solo, who said that he applied back in March already, 9 different schools, all of them unsuccessful. The one that he was given, the child has to take 3 taxis, something that they can't afford as a family. Hence, the child is actually sitting back at home almost halfway through the first term of 2023.